Hey guys, VideoJames, and I'm going to be doing another showcase today, but this time, I'm going to be doing a showcase of all my comic books, because if you may have watched my, if you watched my room tour video, some of you may know that I said I had a whole bunch of comic books, and that I might do, reviews on some of them, or readings of some of them, and I don't really think I'm going to do that, just because, kind of, copyright and all that, but anyway, I'm going to do actually a showcase of them, because that I actually can do. And I just thought it'd be nice to kind of do another showcase. That showcases are kind of fun. That with the Lego showcase, I had a lot of fun. That I got to actually rediscover all my old Legos that I had forgotten about and mess around with all the ones that I still knew about. But anyway, we're getting into this video before I ramble on too long. But fair warning, I don't have much variety when it comes to comic books. That I've only ever gotten a few comic books. And most of them are either Marvel or one Batman. I literally have only one Batman. And scattered other variants. But anyway, we're going to get into this, so let's go. So we see the first set of comic books over here is Avengers. I actually have a couple Avengers, so I just have them stacked on top of each other. But we see the first one is Avengers West Coast, Gather Now Ye Seven Brides. And I think this one was actually given to me as a present. I don't really think that I bought this one. Or if I did, I can't remember buying it. But it is actually a nice comic book. It's not really as superhero-ish as you would think. But it is still containing a little bit of superheroism. And then immediately underneath that, I have the all-new, all-different Avengers. Which is basically just a new group of Avengers with the female Thor, a new version of Iron Man, Captain America mixed with Falcon, Vision, Nova, I think that's Captain Marvel, and Miles Morales as Spider-Man. And this comic is actually a double comic, because we see on the back, we've got the Uncanny Inhumans is the other half. So we see it's kind of a comic that splits in half. It's got two things on it. And next one is Avengers War of the Gargantuans. I haven't actually read this one yet. I have to get around to reading this at some point, but I did buy this a few weeks ago, and it is actually a pretty cool looking, I would say. We got Iron Man, we got two giant robots in the back, and that's always nice to look at. And then we see the final Avengers comic is Secret Wars. I actually have read a bunch of Secret Wars, but this is issue 0, and it is actually a very cool art cover, and it is a very nice comic. I mean, I really like the art cover. To me is what really got me to buy it, because it looks amazing. I'm not really a collector when it comes to comics, but I do buy the stuff that looks cool. Like, this looks really cool to me. Like, you can see, again, we've got female Thor, we got Miles Morales, we got a silver Iron Man, we've got the Captain America Falcon over on the left. I don't think Vision's in this one. And then moving on, we see we got the Hulk comic. We actually have, the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk Unleashed by the Murderous Clown, and A City Trembles. I'm guessing that's the full title. I was never really able to figure out what the full title of this was. And I don't really know what issue this is. I think it's number 471, because there's a number up at the top that says DC 471. So that's just my guess. But I did actually read this one, and it is a very good comic. They actually did maintain a lot of the Hulk's characteristics very well in this comic. And then moving on, we've got Invincible Iron Man in the Battle Below. This is basically just Iron Man versus Hulk, which, I mean, showdown we all want to see, and we did actually see in Age of Ultron. And it was actually a very good comic. I actually did like this one a lot as well. And then we've got an actual Pokemon comic here. This one is Pikachu Shocks Back, and I believe this is kind of like a comic book version of the manga. I don't know, but this is one where this version of Ash tries to help a kid who's trying to get his Eevee to evolve and decides he doesn't want to. But it is actually a very nice Pokemon comic. I did actually like it a lot when I was reading it. It did have a very nice story and kind of plot development. I can't remember if I had to read it back to front or front to back, but I think it might have just been front to back. But it is actually a very nice Pokemon comic, which I was surprised, because I thought that the mangas were the ones that were supposed to be good. But anyway, and then we see over here, we've got my one Batman comic. I've only really ever bought one Batman comic. I mean, I do like Batman, but DC superheroes don't really tickle my fancy as much as Marvel superheroes do. That DC superheroes, not really my kind of cup of tea. But I did actually read this. It is a good comic. I do like it a lot. I don't know why I'm trying to do a review of these, but it is a very nice comic, and I like the artwork on this one as well. That we got Batman punching at Riddler, and then we got some guy up here. I don't know who that is. And then we see, moving on, we've got the Spider-Man section, and this is basically all of my Spider-Man comics. This is basically every one that I have, and even the one Venom comic that I have, which is actually a very good telling of Venom. I do really like this issue a lot. This is a very good telling of Venom's kind of character and Venom's persona, to say. But this one does a really good job of telling the story of Venom and him actually going after revenge. I forget what he goes after revenge for, but he is told very well in this story. It does really give you kind of this perspective of Venom, that he's not in any way a hero, and he's only really slightly on the side of the villain. That we can see he's kind of crushing this dude's face. And there is a scene in this where the Venom symbiote actually is missing Peter Parker, that it is actually missing its former host. And then moving on to the final thing, the Spider-Man section, I'm kind of just going to blow through this one, because there's a lot of them. I don't really think explaining these things would really make much sense. But we got Amazing Spider-Man Back in Black, which is basically when Spidey returns with the Venom costume in comic book form. We have the Amazing Spider-Man Official Index number 10. We have Amazing Spider-Man Inhuman Hair Part 1 of 3. I can't find Part 2 and 3. I don't know why. I can't find Part 2 and 3 of this. But this one was really good. I do really want to read 2 and 3, because this is a really intriguing story so far. I want to figure out if I can find these. There is a local comic book shop that's near my house that I can find comic books at, but I can't really get there all the time, and a lot of the time it takes a long time to get there. But they do have a lot of comic books, so I might go sometime soon and see if they have any more. Then we got the Amazing Spider-Man and a bunch of Avengers, basically, in the annual Hero Killer series. And then we got Atlantis attacks the Amazing Spider-Man. We got Spidey and She-Hulk fighting off Abomination. And this was actually a really good story, too. I did like this one a lot. And then we have Spider-Man Spider's Prey. This is one where Superior Spider-Man was actually the one that was in the story. This wasn't Peter Parker Spider-Man. This was different Spider-Man. And then we got the last one, is we have Spider-Man Unlimited, Spidey Unmasked. This is basically the one where he goes up against Mysterio and doesn't really win that much. He kind of gets beaten around a little bit. But I do really like this one. This is actually my favorite one out of all of them. I read this multiple times over. And it is actually a very nice comic. I do like it a lot. I like all the ones that I have. All the ones that I have are basically really awesome. I do like them a lot. But again, this one is definitely my favorite, mainly because Spider-Man, but also because really good story, really good kind of plot development, awesome artwork inside of it, and just amazing kind of story. But yeah, that's going to be it for my comic book showcase. I don't really know what I was expecting. I kind of can't really do a review of comic books without opening up each individual one and reading them. But that was kind of just going to be it for this video. I didn't really know what else I was going to record today. I kind of just felt like, I'll do something I don't really do much of. So I figured, hey, another showcase. And I couldn't really figure out what to do a showcase on, because there were 3 options in the back of my head. But I ended up just deciding on comic book showcase. So hopefully you guys liked this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have a favorite comic book that was shown in this video. Or if you guys like any of the comic books that were shown in this video. And if you guys actually did like this video, you can slap the like button as always. And I will see you guys in the next video.